Good evening, everyone. My name is Uguchi Nanya, a student of Cloud Computing Administration 235, and I'm here to give my answer to the recorded interview. Thank you for having me on this interview. The first question is: describe the core components of a virtual machine and explain how you would leverage virtualization technology in a business environment. And these are my answers. Virtualization is a software emulation of a physical computer, and it has different components. Examples of the core components of these virtual machines include: one, the virtual hardware. This includes the CPU, the disk storage, the memory, and the network interface. The CPU provides the processing power for our virtual machines, while the memory provides the memory for our VM and the applications that the VM runs, while the disk storage provides storage for our VM applications and the data. The network interface provides connectivity between our virtual machines and other networks or devices within the environment. Then we have the hypervisor. The hypervisor is the emulation, the virtualization environment, and we have type 1 and type 2 hypervisors. And examples of type 1 hypervisor includes the Microsoft Hyper-V, and the example of type 2 hypervisor is the VirtualBox. And with that, we go to the guest operating system or operating system. The guest operating system is the operating systems that our virtual machine uses. This includes the Windows, the Ubuntu, the Mac OS, and the Mac OS, and all that. So the last on the list is the other supporting document that this is the visualization environment. And we have the live migrations. We have the live migrations is there, and I can't remember that, so I'm just going to go over to the second question, which is: describe roles and features. Server roles and features are critical to defining a server functionality. Describe the difference between a server role and a server feature. How do you determine which roles and features, or which role and features a server needs? When it comes to assigning roles to a server, is very essential, because the roles we give to them or the features we assign to them will determine what kind of capabilities we've given to them. For instance, giving roles like NCF permissions gives you access to manage a certain group within its core component, making sure that the least privileges is being administered when it comes to giving roles and all that. And this helps you to have a fundamental way of managing each users the way they appear, making it possible that everybody within an organization has its core functionality and does not translate into diving into other areas that they don't have access to, which is giving them the access control that is very essential. Because in an environment, if you don't have the right access and you are given the right access, more access than you require, it makes it unnecessary, and also brings a lot of data breaches, because as at that moment we are not supposed to have access to such information. So having access control, giving access controls and data privileges is one of the core features of the server role that should be implemented. And with this, everybody stays within a confined environment, offering the kind of services that they should have given at the first time. And the last question is: domains are a fundamental component of a company's infrastructure. Explain the primary purpose of Active Directory and how it facilitates users and resources management within a domain. Give an example of a common task you can perform using Active Directory. Why using an domains are fundamentals? Because when you have a domain, you can have what we call an Active Directory. An Active Directory has a lot of implementations that you can make there, in order to make sure that each environment or each organization has a way of managing everything that is within that particular environment. This includes having the users, the computers, and also giving them privileges as they occur. We also have makes it able for you to have a group of individuals, giving them the group privileges, having a group policy objects that makes it possible for you to manage these groups within an entire organization. And one example, one common task that we can perform using the Active Directory is as simple as giving NTF permissions, and as well creating group personal objects. This helps you to manage your infrastructures the way it should be properly managed, giving you access to make sure that everything works the way it should be. And if there is an issue, you can always go back to troubleshoot to see where the issue is coming from. Is it that the right privileges was not, access or permission was not granted, or that the user was not properly created? And with that, you can always go back to the drawing board to make sure that everything works perfectly the way it should be. Thank you once more for having me on this recorded interview. I look forward to having a working relationship with you, as I look forward to being employed in your organizations as a system administrator for good. Thank you, and God bless you for having me.